Today, I'm breaking down what just happened with the Gaza ceasefire and why it matters. On Monday, President Donald Trump declared the Gaza war over. He received a standing ovation in Israel's parliament and then joined world leaders in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, to mark the first phase of a ceasefire. The trigger was a major exchange. Hamas released the last 20 living Israeli hostages after 738 days in captivity. In return, Israel freed 1,168 Palestinian prisoners and detainees, most detained since October 7th. At the ceremony, a memorandum called the Trump Declaration for Enduring Peace and Prosperity set out broad commitments: security, dignity, human rights for both Israelis and Palestinians. Analysts say it's symbolic for now, but it frames the next steps. This tracks with Trump's 20-point plan announced last week. He said all captives would be released very soon and that Israeli troops would pull back to an agreed line as part of Phase 1. Reactions rolled in fast. President Joe Biden said he's deeply grateful and relieved for the families and emphasized getting relief to Palestinian civilians. He also credited Trump's team for pushing the renewed ceasefire over the finish line. Trump, flanked by dozens of world leaders, called it peace in the Middle East, saying this is the day millions have been praying for. At the same time, he warned that Hamas must disarm, or we will disarm them. Zooming out, the human cost is massive. The Gaza Health Ministry reports more than 67,000 people killed during Israel's offensive. Large areas are destroyed, and famine has been declared in parts of northern Gaza. On October 7th, approximately 1,200 people were killed in Israel, and around 250 were taken hostage. So what's next? Experts say declaring the war over begins a longer process, verifying the ceasefire, disarmament talks, troop repositioning, aid access, rebuilding Gaza. The memo suggests a future where both sides live with equal measures of peace, dignity, and safety. But most of that work is still ahead. Here's the timeline. Quick. Last week, 20-point plan announced. Promise of imminent releases and pullback. Monday, hostages freed, prisoner releases begin. Standing ovation in the Knesset. Signing in Egypt. After. Global statements of support, plus warnings about enforcement and reconstruction. Bottom line, the guns are quieter, families are reunited, and a framework is in place. But the hardest phases, disarmament, guarantees, and rebuilding, will determine if this ceasefire turns into lasting peace. I'll keep tracking the milestones, troop movements, aid corridors, and verification on the ground. For now, the war is declared over. The real test starts today.